Hey guys, WCWABossman here, and I'm just doing a quick video about the Monday Night War stuff, and I'm doing it now because I just got a newer computer with a new webcam, so this is the first chance I really got because I've been busy between some personal things in my life and getting ready for my company's first um, live event in Florida coming up in 2 weeks. So I apologize that this is so late. But when it comes to the Monday Night War and TNA versus WWE, first night going head to head, after seeing everything and looking at it all, I think that TNA did a good job of trying to get the fans interested in the product. Um, I really liked the AJ Styles Kurt Angle match and the women's match, but I didn't really get into the show as much as I wanted to. And from a strictly business standpoint, it was cool that they made all the returns and debuts that they did, but I do think that all the returns and debuts that they made kind of made TNA look desperate because they have everybody that was basically either in WCW or WWE that was a major player that between the closing of WCW and now Vince McMahon has used up creatively and spit out. Why do you think they're on the open market? You know what I mean? Um, from what I understand, WWE got a pretty dominant victory in the ratings, with TNA only getting somewhere in like a 1.6 or 7, I think it was, and WWE getting like a 3.7 or a 3.8. So that's pretty dominant. And I mostly, on the main night on Monday night, I mostly paid attention to Raw because I wanted to see Bret Hart because he's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, and I just wanted to see him and see what they would be doing with him. And so I didn't pay much attention to TNA live on Monday, but I did flip back and forth to see, what they were doing and what was going on. And every time I would flip back to TNA, I would see an old WWE guy, such as, Scott Hall, Sean Waltman, Val Venus with the strip poker deal, Hulk Hogan when he made his speech, Sting in the rafters. It felt like old WCW. It didn't feel like TNA. And when I watched WWE that night, I liked what they did with Bret Hart. It made sense with how they're trying to bring him in. And I personally think WWE did a much better job on Monday night than TNA did. Because as a wrestling fan, not just a Bret Hart fan, but as a wrestling fan, I was happy to see that WWE was actually showcasing more of their talents and building storylines more and doing better matches on the show than they've done in a long time. I think that the promo in the beginning between Brett and Shawn was pretty good. I think that it was a good idea to basically have them bury the hatchet. I really like the fact that Vince McMahon didn't come out when Brett called him out, and that they made that the last segment of the show. I really like the fact that they, even though they had to because Melina got hurt, they showcased the Divas in a much better way than they have with this Diva tournament. And I liked the placements of the rest of their matches. I liked the skit, the shoot that they did with DX, Hornswoggle, and Santino Marella in a wig. It was humorous. It was just fun to watch. And, you know, and of course the ending segment with Brett and Vince set up the angle perfectly. I think WWE did pretty well on this night. Could have done some things better, like how they had people coming up to Vince and asking him, mainly the heels, you know, asking him what they could do to get in Vince's good graces for the Rumble. You know, what Randy Orton tried to do with asking Vince if he could punt Brett in the head if Vince gave him the high sign and all that. I really liked Raw. I watched the replay of TNA more on Thursday. And again, I felt like I was watching WCW, but with some TNA guys sprinkled in. And as a businessman, they did a bad thing by having their Steel Asylum match in the way it did. And, you know, and having Hogan come out in all black to a version of NWO music and kind of hint that they're reforming the NWO, and, you know, with Hall and Waltman and Nash versus Hogan and Flair and Bischoff, kind of what's going on and how they're setting that up, and Sting now being back in the rafters, not saying shit. You know, it just felt like WCW. And now I hear a rumor from people online and a couple of my friends in the business saying that TNA is going to change their ring from the 6-sided ring back to the 4-sided ring because that's what Hulk Hogan wants. And to that I say, why? Because if you do that, TNA loses its individuality. It just becomes another wrestling organization, and TNA is sadly going to become what I fear it has been becoming for a long time, and that's another WCW, where people are just going to take advantage and kill the company in one way or another. So WWE won this round of the Monday Night War. I look forward to seeing more to this in the future. This is WCWABossman, and I will catch you all next time.